let's get into the first part of this, and we'll dive into the actual spoilers in just a moment here. But like, what I wanted to get into the box office is because the box office was decent, like about close to like 130 or 125 or whatever the hell it was. But it didn't do big, huge numbers in the way that, again, Jurassic World did.
Yeah.
Didn't do that. And this is what we talked about. I've been talking about this, is that Superman, regardless of what, if they want to change up, it's not true, Truth, Justice, the American Way. It's associated with it. And it really is. And it's like, he's never been a big international draw.
Yeah.
But despite a robust marketing campaign, Superman only made $95 million at the international box office this weekend, raising concerns about just how high The Man of Tomorrow will ultimately fly overseas. Superman opened to an estimated $122 million in North America this weekend, adding $95 million for overseas for a $217 million global bout. That's way under what I thought. I thought this was going to cost at least 300. People were quick to point out how wrong I was on that, and I'll say, yeah, I was wrong. I thought it would make at least 300 million. I thought they were shooting low when they said 200 million.
So I bet the steak dinner on that. Damn it.
We should have. I don't think I would have bet that, though. Strong start for the DC Studios reboot, but one that's raised concerns about just how high the Man of Steel will fly in. Jurassic World Rebirth took an expected bite out of the movie, while Fantastic Four First Steps is also fast approaching. Fortunately, neither Smurfs nor I Know What You Did Last Summer are expected to pose much of a threat to Superman during its second weekend in theaters. The Wrap has, however, shared some valid concerns about the blockbuster's performance overseas. Superman fell short of initial expectations with its $95 million international haul, meaning only 44% of its global came from those markets. That's left North America, Canada, to do the heavy lifting, especially after it only grossed $13.3 million combined from China, Japan, and South Korea. The movie also made less than expected in Europe, with a combined $9.6 million from France, Italy, and Spain. In the UK, it opened with $9.8 million, which is a decent start, albeit one likely negatively impacted by a recent heat wave in the country. As the trade explains, I would think that would boost it.
I know you want to go to air conditioning.
Air conditioner, unless you're going to get into the F1 situation I was in. I told you that, right?
Yeah.
That was horrible. As the trade explains, along with general superhero fatigue internationally, Superman has never been the global box office draw. That's what I said, that Batman is, thanks to Christopher Nolan's Dark Knight trilogy. While there have been some arguments that the decline of the U.S.'s image under Donald Trump is impacting a hero that for decades, hey, look at me. I didn't even read this article. For decades was associated with truth.
Skip this paragraph.
Yeah, right? Justice in the American Way. Even with Gunn downplaying the last part in his film, box office history suggests it's not that simple. Elaborating on that, the piece points out that 51% of Superman Returns' $391 million global gross came from domestic receipts. Man of Steel fared a little better, with 56% of its $670 million haul coming internationally, but it also has the advantage of Christopher Nolan's name being attached to it a year after The Dark Knight was released in theaters. Good point. As a result, Superman is shaping up to be a domestic-driven title. That stacks the odds against it being a huge hit. Though we recently learned that Warner Brothers Discovery executives will be happy with an eventual $500 million haul.
Bullshit.
I don't know. It makes more sense now, considering that the marketing has been clocked in at 100 million. We thought it was 200 million. 500 makes a little bit more sense now. I don't know if they're going to be happy if that's the truth, but they won't bang their heads against the table as hard as they would have if it was 200 million. Anyway, while that figure won't lead to a huge profit, it's enough for Superman to be considered a moderate success, a welcome change for pace for the DC brand after a series of box office flops like Black Adam, Shazam, Fury of the Gods, and Joker, Folly a Doo-Doo. Throw in the positive reviews and DCU's off to a good start. It will just be up to the likes of Supergirl and Clayface to build on this momentum, along with whatever it is Gunn has planned for 2027. Superman needs to have a great second weekend, though. Great. Yeah. So we'll move to that. Summertime is hectic, man. There's so much going on. You got to try to fit stuff in. So you got to try to fit in. How do I fit working out? How do I do it? For me, I love having Hydrow at my house now. I've been talking about, you guys, Hydrow? We're talking about Hydrow? Yeah, I'm talking about Hydrow. Because why? There's no commute, there's no class times, there's no juggling logistics. I just hop on it, I get an amazing workout, 20 minutes fits into whatever kind of day I'm having. It's a game changer. It gives me a full body workout. It's got arms, it's got legs, it's got core, everything. I'm hitting 86% of my muscles in one session. I can do it in just 20 minutes when I'm busy. That kind of efficiency, it really matters. I love that I'm not just following some random trainer, too. That's one of the things I really have responded to. The workouts are led by real athletes, Olympians, baby, world champions, people who know what they are doing. It makes a big difference for me. I feel like, okay, this person knows what they're doing. I'm not just listening to some random video out of nowhere. So for me, again, just having it in my place, and if I miss something I'm like, oh man, what am I gonna? How am I gonna get myself to the gym? I don't need to. I have it at my place, so I'm able to skip the gym and not the workout. I stay on track with Hydrow. For a limited time, go to hydrow.com. Use that code Kristian, and you're gonna save up to $450 off your Hydrow Pro Rower. $450. That is HYDROW.com. Use the code Kristian. Save up to $450. Hydrow.com. Code Kristian. All right, John, lot there. But what do you make of that in general?
You know, I think Superman's in trouble. Clearly, I'm not breaking any new ground saying this internationally. I think they're in trouble, and I want to be able to have this discussion with people. And those of you who are watching right now, this is going to be a nuanced discussion. And what that means is put away your warm fuzzies about the movie and let's have an honest conversation of the box office. Okay, don't get it twisted that the box office is mixed in with your fuzzies. It's not. I like the movie. I love the movie. A lot of you who are watching liked or loved the movie. Some of you didn't. The film did well domestically for an opening weekend. It didn't beat overall Man of Steel. If you factor in the previews of Man of Steel, it didn't do. I mean, if you do it adjusted for inflation, it didn't do well compared to 1978 Superman, which is like $1 billion in our today's money. But it was a good start. It was a good opening weekend domestically. I'm a little surprised at how much Jurassic World Rebirth took a bite out of their box office. I wasn't expecting that, and that was a bit of a shock for me. But you look at the international numbers, it's clocking in lower, 7 to 10% lower than Superman Returns or Man of Steel. Now, those who defend this will find any excuse. It's a different box office time. People don't go to the movies much anymore. Well, how do you explain all these other movies that are doing so well? This is a Superman movie that is launching your unit. It's like Superman. This is, I saw, I've said this before to a certain friend of mine, comparing it to Iron Man. It's so off base to compare to Iron Man. Completely not the same brand recognition at all. This is Superman. And for them to be like, okay, with 500, like excited with 500 million, if it even gets to that, and the positive reviews, I think we're lowering the bar so low just so we can feel good about DC again. And that's where I think people have to separate their warm and fuzzy feelings about the movie from the actual brutal, honest truth of what might be happening here. Because if this thing doesn't even get to 500 million, because it's very much a domestic-driven film now, if it doesn't get to 500 million or just barely above 500 million, I can't imagine Zaslav is popping wine bottles when you look at the budget being 225, and that's probably a lie. It's probably 250 or 300, even with the tax incentives. And then you add in the marketing, I think it's probably closer to 200, even though people are speculating that, because we're only getting those numbers from Warner Brothers. And so how honest are they going to be? So if you, let's say it's let's be nice, 300 million overall.
Okay.
If you're making 500 total, you're not even making double your money. Right. So to me, that's a flop. I don't care what people say. That's a flop.
Nah, that's a disappointment. Flop.
Yeah. To me, compared to Superman, like Thunderbolts is a flop, but kind of a flop, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think they lost their money that you can categorize that. Sure.
But this is Superman. Like it should be up there in the $700 to $800 million range because people are going to see superhero movies. Deadpool and Wolverine, again, over $1 billion. So to me, these are good opening numbers, but I'm a little worried for what's coming next. That's my honest feeling.
Well, you have to definitely be nervous with, the competitor of Fantastic Four that's going to take that because you're making your money domestically. Domestically, you're making your money. That's where you got, because clearly Superman just does not hold up internationally. He just doesn't. He just traditionally just hasn't been able to do it. I thought the points that they made a comic book movie was right.
Yeah.
But
where are you at on this?
I think that, like I said, I think that the first part of it is domestically, it's a nice number, right? I am surprised. I mean, even though I knew that he just doesn't pull the same way that dinosaurs do internationally. I think that I thought it would do at least up to 300 million for opening collectively, right? But the other thing, I've been talking about this on the show for what the audience is going to say, yeah, we're exhausted by it. I've been talking about it for 2 or 3 months that Jurassic World was probably going to be the biggest one out of the three of them because internationally, dinosaurs. That's it. They don't care about what's being said on the screen. They don't care. They just want to see, and it just plays to everybody else. They're literally, if you're paying a ticket to go see dinosaurs running around the place, good looking CGI dinosaurs, which we can both agree that they look great.
Yeah.
Even though they're monsters and not dinosaurs, but that's who cares? You're getting what you paid for. If it comes to the jokes and other things that might not transfer over internationally, because the story, the emotion, all that stuff might not transfer over the same way, the tone. So let's see how Fantastic Four is, but it looks like Jurassic World's going to beat Superman overall.
Yeah, and like I want to make it clear, like my issues with James Gunn, because I can already see people probably painting it this way. My issues with James Gunn are my issues with James Gunn, but my issues with the movie, I loved the movie. I want the movie to be a success.
Right.
But I'm also a realist, and I'm not afraid to be a realist. I'm not caught up in, but I love the movie. Don't talk mad about the movie. Some people want to, I saw some people going after the box office today saying it's ridiculous, like plugging their ears and going, la, 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 don't talk to me. It's like, come on, be adults. There's a box office situation happening. Take a look at it, analyze it, have an honest conversation about it. It doesn't take away your love of the movie. It doesn't take away that it was a damn good opening weekend, but not a great one. So like all of that still exists. And it looks like they are going forward with the DC universe, given those statements. I mean, it's weird to me the touchdown dances they were doing this weekend, Zaslav and James Gunn. Kristian, this is like celebrating after the first round in the Schmodown. You don't know what's going to happen after the third round. So to me, I'm just really, I guess they must have been so desperate for this film to do well that they issued these statements.
Yeah, but I think that they have an audience enough for me to say, okay, you can. It makes sense that you would continue on. It's not like it's.
But you don't even know what it's going to do. What if it comes in under 5?
You mean like week 2? Well, week 2 domestically is the most important. The reason why I still think that domestically it's going to still start to do well, and I have people that never see movies, like who text me because they know I'm in this business. My uncle, he sees movies. I took him to see the Bob Dylan movie because he was a big Bob Dylan fan. He hasn't seen. He hardly sees anything in the theater, right? Ever. Last night he texted me, goes, "We're going to see Superman tonight." And I was like, okay, domestically, that's the kind of thing that I think more people will be doing. And we will be discussing this next Monday. That's the big, that internationally, week 2, probably not going to do great. It's what does that number look like here?
Yeah.
That they can still keep putting money in there. And I think that they're going to hit around 600, I think, overall.
You do.
Between 550 and 600, I think they're going to hit. And I
if
think
you hit 6, I guess you're happy, because if you're saying 5, you're happy. I guess 6.
Enough to say, look, it's enough to say, look, the guy just doesn't pull internationally, but we're proud of what we did. Right. We did some good numbers here in the States. And now we know that maybe we don't lead, or we don't really go heavy with a Superman 2. Right now, we do that idea that we had. We start to really put together the big 3. We put together the Wonder Woman movie. We put together the Batman movie. We teamed them up later on down the line. I know they're doing Supergirl. And I was like, we'll get into it with the spoilers, but like, how much is that Supergirl movie? Because I'll tell you, from what I saw and I love Millie Allen, like I've said this, what I saw in that, I don't care to see a Supergirl movie right now. After what I saw in that movie, I don't care to see a Supergirl.
No, I loved it. I liked it because I liked that attitude, and it's appealing to the younger generation. If you look at the demos and the way the box office broke down, people under 25 liked the movie more than people over 25, both male and female.
Okay,
demographics.
Makes sense.
That being said, though, I think having Supergirl and Clayface after Superman, now, if this Superman doesn't come in at a higher number, I think this is a dangerous road to be walking. Because I agree with you. I think there are a lot of people who don't want to see Supergirl. I want to see it, but I know I saw a lot of people across social media and online, and talking to people, friends of mine, who weren't impressed by that. And now it's like, if that affects the box office for Supergirl, and then Clayface, which is being made for less.
Clayface is being made for like $33 in a Snickers bar.
Exactly. You want to be following up with a Batman movie and a Wonder Woman movie. Like, you want to be knock punching. Now you're gonna like little jabs. I don't think it's gonna.
I didn't love Supergirl, but you make an excellent point about how it plays the younger generation, because I will cash it in. I will accept it. The old man card, it is here, because I went to Trader Joe's with my daughter the other night.
Yes.
And so I walk up, and there's this kid, the cashier. If he was 19, I'd be surprised. Yeah, right. So he's standing there, and I say to him, "Hey, you guys take Apple Pay, right?" And what do you think his response is to me?
Duh.
What happened? Nothing happened. Nothing happened. All I asked you was if they had Apple Pay.
What
happened? What do you mean, what happened? You can say, "Oh, I'm sorry, sir, I didn't hear what you said."
Yeah.
What? Excuse me? What happened? Yeah. Who hires these people?
It's a New York 19-year-old.
What happened? It says. And I was like, it took every bit of me to not embarrass my daughter right there. It took every bit of me. What happened? The guy says. And I go, he has ski cap on. I'm like, what? It's almost 85 degrees, and you're wearing a ski cap asking me what happened. What happened? What happened? It's the worst. I wanted to shave his head.
Do something with your life.
That was my kid. You kidding me? What happened? Oh, Dad, you know, I was working the cash register, and the guy asked me about Apple Pay, and what'd you say to him? I asked him what happened. That's my first instinct. What happened?
That needs to be the new T-shirt. What happened? Just some person standing there.
Anyway, so
real quick. It's the worst thing, isn't it? It's like, and I want to speak to what you just said. It's the worst thing.
Shakes fist at cloud. Someone said 100%.
Kristian and I, separately, young rebels in our own lives, like we mess with the system, but when you get older, you start to see these moments pop up that you saw other people go through who are older than you, and it really freaks you out when the moment shows up. You just
100%.
What the hell is this happening to me?
I accept it. And to be fair to that kid, if I was saying that type of slang back when I was 19, it probably would have been me. It doesn't mean that I can't look at him and go, "Hey, kid." When someone asks you a question, you don't answer it with what happened. You say, "Excuse me, I didn't hear you." What? Anyway, Supergirl was very similar to the what happened kid. And so when I hated it. I hated it. I hated that scene. I hated it. It was like it threw me off, and I'm like, "This is gonna be a full movie of this?" And I said, "Well, wait, she's drunk, because of the Red Sun thing." So okay, they explain that. And I get she's an asshole. I get it, because he had the great upbringing. He was the one raised by the two great parents. She got screwed. She was there when the planet was shit to see all of it. She is, mentally in a very different headspace. I love all that stuff. It's great.
Trauma.
Yeah, it's dealing with the trauma. If that's the movie that we see, and that's more or less how she is, then fine. Then I'm on board. But if we get that for 2 hours, which we probably won't, she was drunk, but if we get that for 2 hours, I'm out.
Yeah, I mean, there is some serious stuff that happens in that book there that they're basing the film on. So there'll be, balance out from those kinds of scenes. But her and Momoa are going to have those kinds of scenes, which I think will be a lot of fun. Those two going at each other, probably working together and also busting each other's balls, so to speak. And so that's going to be an interesting element of the movie. But it's going to be James Gunn's taste. Even though he's not directing the movie, he is overall seeing it. It's connected to his Superman universe, so it's going to have that kind of irreverence to it. But will it have the emotion and the heart and the stakes? And some people, although I like the emotion in this movie, some people felt the emotion was missing a little bit from this Superman movie. So we will see. Other than Mom, Pa, Ken, I think that's well, people came after them too, man. It's really.
We're going to dive into spoilers in just a moment, but as far as box office and all that other stuff, what say you guys? Put your thoughts in there, whether it's in the live chat, whether it is in the replay, and of course on the Clips channel. So many of you have been visiting the Clips channel lately and we put all the segments from the show up on the Clips channel. So if you haven't already subscribed to that, it's just Kristian HARLOFF Clips. It's in the description. You can find it there, or you can just search it on the YouTube bar.